Hi everyone, my name is Snehal Ramachandran. I'm a software engineer in the Visual C++ team, and today I'll be showing you updates to the sidebar in the VS Code CMake Tools extension. I'll start us off by showing our new project status view, its customization options, and updates to the status bar customization options. So this is how the CMake Tools extension should load when you open up a CMake project. You might notice that there's a lot less options in the status bar now, and that's because they moved to the CMake sidebar. There's a one-to-one mapping of the options available here to what was in the status bar before. I'll go through an example of how I would configure, build, and launch a project that uses CMake presets using the sidebar. So the main nodes configure, build can be clicked to configure and build, and any selection of preset will be present underneath. So if I want to select a different configure preset, I click this pencil icon right here, and a list should pop up. But let's stick with what we have right now. So I click configure to configure it. And you can do the same thing on selecting presets for build, but I like what we have here, and I like the build target that we have selected. So I click this icon to build. Cool. Now that it's configured and built, you can launch. You can select your target here and then launch via this play button. And you can see it print out hello world. Cool. So we're very excited about the project status view and having a unified sidebar with our project outline and CMake pinned commands. But if you miss having the options in the status bar, it's still possible to pin status bar options back there with our updated customization settings, which you can access via this open visibility settings icon here. So by default, these are what the customization options are set to. The status bar visibility is set to hidden, which is why you don't see all the icons down there. But we still allow build, launch, and debug to be shown through these settings, which I'll explain more in a minute. The fastest way to get all of your options back in the status bar, if that's what you prefer, is by changing hidden to visible. You can get all of your options back, but that creates a very cluttered status bar. So let's go back to hidden for now. So say even though the status bar is hidden, we want to show the build preset option there. Let's add it. To add it, we set build preset under the CMake options advanced. We set status bar visibility to visible. Now it's here. But say you don't want as much text here to appear. You can set it to icon to show absolutely no text here, or you can set it to compact and specify the characters it can show maximum. Oops. And let's say we want 5 characters maximum. And you can see how it's truncated now. You can also choose to hide some of these in the project status view. So if you want to hide this whole build section, you can set the project status visibility to hidden. And this whole section goes away. But there's no option for the build preset to be hidden in the project status view. And that's because these top nodes can be hidden, but if you want to hide these presets selection options, all you have to do is close this caret or open it. So the last setting I want to explain is what this inherit option means under status bar visibility for each of these specific options. So if you set it to inherit, that means this build option in the bottom here will show as whatever inherit default is set to, say visible, if the general status bar setting is set to hidden. So since it is, right now it shows visible. But if it's set to anything but hidden, the status bar visibility will inherit what it says here. So let's say if we set this to icon, you can see all of the icons show up and build's text is gone too. And that's because of this inherit option. This is useful because say at times you want all of your options down here. If this was set to visible here instead of inherit, now everything's an icon except this build option here, which is a little bit of an eyesore. This allows you to have uniformity when you set the general status bar visibility to something, but allow your specific customization options when it's hidden. All of these options, their configurations, can be found at this link here. And another way you can find this link is if you go to the settings UI, either through this, or you can click the CMake tools extension settings here. Look up the options path for the options advanced, and if you see more info here, you can click it and you can see all of the docs. A last cool little feature is before, if you wanted to delete cache and reconfigure anything, you would do Control-Shift-P, open the command palette, do CMake, delete cache and reconfigure like that. But now we have this icon pinned here that just does it for you, which is nice. This is just one command that can be quickly accessed from the sidebar, but now I'll pass it to Moyo to show you how you can quickly access many more.
Hi, my name is Moyo Karami, and I'm a software engineer on the C++ IDE CMake team. Today, I'll be showing you a new feature in our CMake tools extension in Visual Studio Code that enables you to pin your most frequently used CMake commands to the sidebar for easy access. Let's get right into it. So previously, if we were working on a CMake project in Visual Studio Code using our CMake tools extension, you only have easy access to a limited subset of CMake commands, either in our project outline view, for example, configure, or in our project status view. However, there are several other commands you might want to use in your CMake project workflow, for example, cancel build or edit CMake cache. But to access these commands, you have to either Control-Shift-P or hit F1, and then type out the commands you're looking for. The other alternative would be to create custom key bindings to specific commands. However, that does take a lot of mental power trying to remember what commands map to what mappings. With our new feature that we've added that enables you to pin your CMake commands, the pin commands view, this saves you all the hassle. Now in this view, to pin a command, you simply click Add Command, and then we pop up a list of all the active CMake commands you have based on your workspace settings and the type of CMake project you have. So if I click configure, you notice that has been added here, and so that has been pinned. To add more, I can just click the plus button right here, and let's add some preset command, because why not? And then let's also add build and add one more. Let's add install. Now that I have pinned these commands, to run it, I can simply hover over it and click the run command icon right here. As you can see, this has triggered a build for my project, which is what we wanted. Now, to unpin a command from this list, I can just right-click on that command and click Unpin Command. Another cool thing about this feature is that the pin commands view actually persists across the different VS Code sessions and across different CMake projects that you open up. So I'm going to go ahead and close this project called Demo. Now, what you notice is that in the pin commands view, we still see the same commands that I had pinned when I opened up the other demo project in the other VS Code session. Now, what happens if, for example, I open up a project that doesn't use CMake presets.json? So this is a CMake project that uses CMake settings.json. And as you notice, in the pin commands view, you only see 2 pin commands versus in this one, like where you see 4. And it's missing the preset commands. And the reason we do this is because we only want you to see commands that are actually relevant to your current workspace and your project, so that way you don't clutter your pin commands view with commands that you cannot even run. That concludes our demo. Thank you for watching us share the Sidebar updates in the CMake Tools extension in Visual Studio Code.